Hello everyone, today I'm going over a game between Magnus Carlsen and Vishy Anand. This game took place in 2008 and Magnus was 27.75 and Vishy was 27.98. This was the Chess Classic mains. Comment any videos you'd like to see in the future. And let's get right into it. Starts off with d4 by Magnus, and we have knight f6 and c4. Magnus really likes the Catalan at this time, and we just have a normal Catalan. Bishop over and knight out, and now castles, pawn takes, now queen c2, attacking the pawn and just developing the queen. Now we have a6 and queen takes, and now b5, attacking the queen. Queen drops back to c2, best move, and this is a very common opening that is at this super high level, and Vishy has actually played this and more openings like this a couple years ago, and he drew a game. And he learned from it. So we have bishop over and bishop to f4, knight out, knight to b4, queen back, and rook c8. After rook d1, we have knight jumping to d5 now, knight takes, bishop drops back. That's move 15. 15 moves into a chess game. You are almost always at a new game. But this is a different game that Vishy played as black, and here's move 15, and it's the exact same thing. This was played 2 years before, and it was a draw, ending with white has a queen and a knight, and black has a queen and a bishop. And they drew the game, and white traded off the pawns on this side of the board. And they're left on a 4v4, and there's nothing they can really do, so they decided to draw it. However, in the Magnus Carlsen game, after bishop drops back, Vishy jumps in, knight g4 now. We have knight drops back, bishop takes, knight takes back, and queen here now. This is still drawing, it's completely fine for Magnus, but after pawn forwards attacking this knight, knight takes, queen takes, now c5, a very crucial move. It's still equal, but the pawn break is very important because the rook's protecting it. The bishop and the queen are all protecting this pawn. So Magnus just develops his knight attacking the queen. We have queen f5 now, and pawn takes, bishop takes, attacking this queen here. And they're equal on material. The queen's under threat, so he has to move the queen. Moves it to the side, proposes a queen trade. Vishy decides not to trade the queens, drops it back, attacks the b2 square, and Magnus has to play e3. E3 would have been the best move in the position. You can see the evaluation bar doesn't like Magnus's, and after rook f8, rook fd8, we have not the best situation for Magnus. Queen a5 is a nice move, however, it's not amazing. We have e5 now attacking this knight. Magnus has to either move it or play an interluding move. Rook takes with check, that's why it works, and now rook takes back, and knight drops back to d3, attacking this bishop. Now we have a bishop versus a knight, both queens and both rooks. So bishop and knight is the big, what's it called? The thing that, something that changes what it's called, imbalance. So bishop and knight is the imbalance. We have both queens, both rooks, but Vishy's pawns are also pushed a little bit further than Magnus's. He only has these two pushed. So we'll see what happens. We have bishop back, queen here, and bishop now attacking the queen. And this looks like it's not too bad. I guess that's getting attacked, but we have queen drops back, pawn forwards to e4, attacking the knight now, and knight to f4. Now, this is dropping. Vishy takes it, attacking the rook. It wasn't the best move, but now he's up a pawn. His pawns are pretty far, and rook d1, trying to trade off the rooks, but Vishy plays a nice move, attacking this knight now, and we have knight to d5. Obviously, Magnus couldn't take this rook because it's defended, and he obviously wouldn't drop back rank, checkmate. We have knight d5 and queen to e6 now. After queen a5, rook forwards, knight drops back, defending this rook, and rook takes, knight takes, and we're like the other game, right? We have a queen and a queen versus a knight and a bishop, but in this game, there's 3 pawns here. 2 black ones, 1 white one, which means black is up a pawn. If they can get this pawn or trade off these pawns, if both these pawns are gone, it would be completely winning for black. Although this is undefended, but if you found a way to defend it, that would be completely winning for black. But it's like a point better right now. And we have king forwards to g2, and now queen to c6. After knight e3, pawn forwards, queen to b4. We have king g7 now. Magnus needs to find a pawn push. h4, g4 also kind of works. It's not as good, but queen d2, that's a nice move too. These are all like should be not completely losing, but Magnus doesn't see it. He plays king h2, says, Vishy, what are you doing against me? Vishy says this. Attacks the queen, defended by the queen. And now we have queen to e7. This is not the right idea by Magnus. You can see he's down 2 points, and Vishy's up a pawn, so Vishy being 2800 is not going to lose this. We have bishop attacking the knight. Queen drops back, thinking there's nothing that can be done to him. But now, after queen c5, he's going to trade off these queens or take this knight and double these pawns. We have queen d2 now. He found queen d2, but it was a little bit late defending this knight. If he were to take back here, that would be completely winning because there's 2 on this side versus 1. So he has to take back with the pawn. Now pawns are doubled. He's down a pawn on this side. It does not look good for Magnus. We have b4 now by Vishy, and Magnus plays king g2, trying to run his king over and keep on running his king over. But now after a4, he gets scared, and he plays queen b2 check, and now plays queen d2 back. That was a waste of a tempo. He had to move his king back, but instead of that, he should have just kept on running with king e1, or h4 even maybe. But Magnus doesn't see it, loses a tempo, and this pawn just gets pushed pretty much for free. Although that's not an amazing move. Okay, it is. The valuation bar just flopped around for a second. We have pawn takes, and now queen check. King drops here. Queen goes back to d2, trying to just sit and defend, but after queen to b6, queen check, and now queen f6 check, attacked by the queen. But if you take, I take back with my king, and there's no way you can stop my pawn. I promote and I win the game. That's why Magnus Carlsen resigned in this position and lost the game. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.